All right, what's up? This is the CSR. Is CC still talking? All right, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live. We stream live from Mott Branch Library. So what we're going to do right now is play our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Yeah. I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. So shout out to the staff at Mott that always rolls out the red, black, and green carpet for us. Let's go ahead and get into some introductions because we got a dynamite guest today, a week before the election. And, we've been doing a lot of election stuff, but I think we did enough, Jody. All right. Yeah. We did enough. We might put some graphics on our screen moving further along. Hey, let's get into some introductions. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. It was them, not me, that came up with that term, community solidarity, and then they wanted me to help them with a couple of events. And man, here we are 10 years later.
10 years.
Yeah, and also shout out to the Nation of Islam. I'm an active and registered member for my 33 years, all right, in April. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. And today, I kind of got it backwards. Today, what am I wearing? I've got on a blue hat that just cannot sit straight. So just give me a second. Yeah, cannot sit straight. Yeah, make me look like I got a hairline. All right. I've got a blue hat. I've got my Buy Black shirt in the logo of a local store. My brown glasses. I got my beads on today, kind of to match the shirt. And this is for the protest community and activist culture. I think this is one of the one-stop shops. You can come and say what needs to be said. And we still want all the smoke, and you know where we are, so you can always pull up, and see Jody right after her, all right? Because I'm gonna be loading the stuff. But hey, listen, and it's as we said before, 10 years, Jody, and we'll get into our Black Lives Matter moment later on. And if you're in the vicinity of Mont Branch Library or Maconda, hey, stop through. We're in the pink room, all right? We set it up as our own studio, and then we break it down at the end, or I don't think
therapy for the week.
Yeah, I don't think they'll just let us keep it up. All right. But hey, listen, let me throw it to you to intro what you're wearing, and then we'll get into our mission statement and our guiding principles.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. The treasurer of this wonderful organization is, as we repeated many times this year, it's our decade. A decade is a very long time to be doing something, no matter what it is. And we've been consistently, reaching out to the people, whether it be in the streets or protest or changing laws or changing bills, or now a podcast that is one of a kind, where we actually interview community members. We're not talking about topics or trendy things. You won't find no
what? No. All right. Okay. But let me stop.
I guess in the amalgam of everybody with the ham radio show after the 30s or whatever, this is what we do. We like to talk to our community, engage with them on things that are going to help them grow, going to help them, move forward out of not just protest, but into healing, into stuff, because what we do is a lot of trauma.
True.
Our job literally is to work ourselves out of a job. We don't want to be activists or protesters. We don't believe that there should be any injustices, but it does. So we're always going to have, kind of like the healthcare industry, a boon. So, or like them construction workers that build a bridge 5 times, we're always, unfortunately, going to be here. Hopefully one day that won't be necessary, but with human history, this is a undeniable truth. I want to read something before I go in, and also thank you for joining us every single week. We started transitioning from our after show, I guess, moments where we used to meet in public to this format, which allows us to engage with more people. We can have commercials up, and we don't have to worry about if you can make it or can't, because you can always zoom in and or what do we use now?
I think we use
Zoom, because we got Zoom Bob.
Yeah, we use something else, and until they start paying us, then we'll start saying the name. All right. So, but we use something else. All right.
Yeah. So, but one thing I do want to say, the reason why we describe ourselves is because, we know around this time you're going to work, and taking kids to school. It's the end of the year, and we don't want you watching the screen being distracted or anything like that. So we describe ourselves so you're not listening to somebody of not melanation talking about a melanation show.
Okay, true. Okay.
I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts from living my life as an artist and meeting people and enjoying them in their moments. Even if I never get to see them again, the things around my neck, the things that are in my pocket are people I've met, places that I've been. The stick behind me has been all over the world thanks to people that believed in me for a moment. So how before I go into our mission statement, and something that affected me as I was talking to my daughter and preparing for my granddaughter or grandson, we still don't know, is the problem with capitalism is that if you aren't born into wealth, your only capital is labor. So automatically your human body is now a commodity that you must sell. And if you can't sell it for enough, you won't be able to care for it and you will lose your capital. That's something that affected me on the way to the show. So I wanted to share it with everybody else, give you a little bit more human side of me outside of the poetry and everything else that I do to uplift my community. So
how do we even get here?
yeah, 10 years is a long time. We got lots of memories. Just what you see on the board barely touches any of that. And if you're starting a nonprofit, a kitchen, what is the word that's being health advisor?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, going into any of those fields and want to know the minutia about it, you have to have a mission statement
And your guiding principles,
which is like your walls and foundation, because many people will see what you have going on, not knowing how much you sacrifice to get there, and will just want it. Want it because you have it, or want it because they've never seen it before. So this is how we stay grounded. This is how we stay to the goal. So me and Brother Washington, when we're gone, somebody else will have a foundation to stand on that means something.
Oh, we going somewhere? Yeah, all right. It is what it is.
I can't do this forever. Again, I got a family to start raising and to make sure that even though I have loved entertainment for the last decade, it has taken some of the best parts away from my family because I'm always on stage. And so I'm transitioning. That's why I gave myself a decade. And that's why I'm transitioning more into the programming and other side starting next year of, you may not see me that much. I do my 500th show this year on the 17th. And that's a lot of time I've been away from my family. So anyway, here's our mission statement. Hopefully you come up with something. This wasn't our own words. It was crafted by all the things. Actually, we went to the movement for Black Lives in Cleveland. That was years ago, and it helped craft. And as the years have gone on, we've added bits and pieces that more reflect our community in this. So we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice, yes, voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development. We discuss measures to hold accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they a politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. And justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, and before we get to our guiding principles, right after I finish this, I got a dynamite Black Lives Matter moment. And from 2019. There's some
Yep.
things that we were doing in 2019 and stuff that we're doing now. Matter of fact, later on this month, you're going to hear later on in our podcast of some other things that's happening in the community that we want you to be a part of. But right now, we want to get into our guiding principles. These are the things that help us from imploding, because we've got a lot of strong personalities at CSRN. It's as if all of the protesters came together and said, hey, let's do something, together. That sounds like a problem. Just say that. So this is the thing that bonds us together. CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly effective people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Hey, before we take a short break, my Black Lives Matter moment, one of them, because it's been 10 years, but one that I'm going to talk about today was the Juneteenth event that we had right here at Mott Branch Library in June of 2019. And this was led by our sister Ruth Leonard.
Yep.
She had organized it with, I think, was it Pathways, Brothers and Sisters United, the Q Dogs, CSRN, and a few other people. And I think that was at a time when I think the city of Toledo was getting a part of a lot of things that people were doing.
The beginnings of them being involved in everything.
Yeah. And
remember we gave away bikes and air fryers, because it was also unfortunately there was a festival or a donation that had gone on by that time. Tyrone, he did that, and then we kind of tried to take the reins, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. And I think that most people know us from putting together a rally, or I call it protest awareness activity, because we're not begging anybody for anything. We're just letting you know that there's some things that you got to answer for. If you say that you're an educator, if you're a politician, if you're in law enforcement, whoever you are, we're going to call you out. So, but there's also other things that we do, and that's why I wanted to highlight the Juneteenth of 2019. We're still doing things, like that.
Yep, we got something coming later on next year.
Right. So, hey, look, I want to take a short break, Jody, and maybe later on, if you got a Black Lives Matter moment.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
All right. So we're going to take a short break. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
It's the Panama Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
Now, all right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast. Let me turn up my earphones in my ear. I feel like Biggie. Can you turn them up a little bit in my ear? All right. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Montbrand's Library and talk about the things that we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now, which is talking to my friend right here, and some of the things that we got coming up in the future that you will hear not only from her, but also CSRN got some heavy stuff happening next week, Jody. So we got to make sure we're on time. Hey, listen, CSRN tradition, we always ask our guests, who are you? What are you wearing? And what are we talking about today? So who are you?
Blessings. I'm Cece. And what do? I give out dinners at no cost on holidays and special events. And also can and dry goods. So I serve the community good foods.
All right. So what are you wearing?
So I'm wearing Dr. Moss shirt. It says, I got evidence God did it.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I feel you.
And she's an author.
I was almost ready to snap my fingers when you said that, the way
everything.
you said it.
Yes.
All right.
Marriage coach.
Okay.
Yeah, she does a lot.
All right. Savanna's Soul Kitchen.
Yes.
You do a lot of things, but this is something that I found out that you did maybe a couple of years ago. I'm like, what is she doing in there? She doing her thing. That's what she's doing. What is Savanna's Soul Kitchen and how did that come to be?
Okay, so years ago, we made a powerful move to downtown Toledo.
Okay.
So the babies could be right across from their schools. So upon that move, I discovered that the shelters were closed due to COVID and they couldn't allow any more clients in. And so I did some research, and the neighborhood church in the area were giving out lunches outside, and they said that they were running out of food.
Oh.
So I then decided to turn my for-profit business into a nonprofit business. And then that's when we came up with Savanna Soul Kitchen, Feast for All, Thanksgiving dinner at no cost. That was our first one about 5 years ago.
Wow. What are some of the challenges doing what you're doing? See, I couldn't imagine that level of, organizing and being responsible, because people depend on that too.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and I normally don't talk about this stuff, but but yes, I have had people try to poke holes in my resume. I've had that. Also, challenges sometimes is getting the word out, and just obstacles, different obstacles come up. I've had notices, doing this whole movement and everything, but thankfully we still have somewhere to live and nothing is cut off.
Wow.
Because, I believe in what I do. And if I say I'm going to have dinner for you at no cost, I'm going to make sure that I do that.
All right. What was it about Thanksgiving? Because there's Christmas, there's Mother's Day, there's Sweetest Day dinners. There's Father. I don't know if there's a Father's Day dinner. All right.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm like, okay, I was trying to crack on this. All right. That's what I get.
Yeah, we got y'all.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. What was it about Thanksgiving that made you want to put this together for Thanksgiving?
So originally, when I moved to downtown Toledo, I used to sell dinners, right, to help pay for my rent.
Right.
And so I was going to do an open mic in our clubhouse, and I said, well, maybe I could sell dinners during the open mics and everything. So when I decided to do this movement, I looked at the calendar and I typed in holidays, and I found that there were a lot of important holidays, and Thanksgiving was one of them. In fact, it's two holidays in some months, so I had to narrow it down. So I said I want to be effective, and then I had to think about what would give like shock value. So I came up with Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, Easter Sunday, Mother's Day, and Father's Day, because I know that on Christmas and a lot of holidays, some people will buy Christmas presents and not food. And so I had to think about that. I had to think about.
I never heard that before.
Yes,
I never heard it said like that.
Yes, and sometimes people, they might not have funding at a certain time of the month. So I had to think about that, and I said, well, at least we could provide them a good hot meal.
Wow. I'm still thinking about how some of us will buy presents before food.
Yes.
Because that's a special day. Like it or not, it's a special day that you want to make sure somebody that you love gets something. And when do you? Okay. All right. In order to do all of this, you got to know how to cook.
Yes.
All right. When did that? I think when I first met you, I met you as I think a spoken word person.
Yes. A poet.
Well, a poet. All right. I met you as a poet, and sometimes we think that however you meet somebody, that's all they are. All right. So your cooking skills, how did you learn how to cook and then be able to scale it up for 20 and 30 or 50 people? How did that happen?
And 300.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's what's up.
So when I was younger, I moved to Detroit, and my auntie, she used to work a lot. So she handed me a cookbook and was like, make it happen, And so I had to make it happen. And so then also I met this lady named Billy, and she was from Huntsville, Alabama. And I talk about her in my documentary film, the Hollow Poems movie. And she taught me how to cook. Between her and my cousin Reezy, and just like living on my own, just trial and error, and trial and error. And also that was our thing though. We would sit in the kitchen, and I would help her, or I would watch her. And then also when I was growing up, my great grandmother, Mama Marion, she used to have a daycare at St. Paul Amy Zion Church on Dexter in Detroit, and we used to feed the congregation at the church.
Oh man! All right. What is it? Well, I'm gonna just ask it because Jody asked me to. All right. What is it that you can cook that just won't miss? What is like your favorite thing that everybody would like?
My world famous lasagna.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yes, the beef one, but now I got 4 flavors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a veggie one, I got a turkey one, and a chicken breast love one. But everybody always talk about that lasagna, or also our award-winning mac and cheese too.
So is it difficult cooking for yourself and then figuring out how you're going to cook with 300 people in it, and it's still going to taste good?
Well, you just learn how to cook in bigger quantities, and our family, we eat the same food that we serve to the people. We eat right there with everybody else. Yeah, we don't do nothing different.
All right. I'm gonna pull this up on. I was going over the social media today, and I saw the Savanna Soul Kitchen Feast for All. This is the Thanksgiving dinner at no cost.
Yes.
Talk to us about this. Why is it important for people to know it's no cost? Who can come? Just the whole thing.
Okay, so we're going on our 5th year of this whole amazing movement. So we're at a newer location. We're at the Harmony House. The time is going to change a little bit for this event because they were double booked. So this one is more like a brunch. So we're going to give away dinner at no cost from 12 to 2. And this is for people. Anybody can pull up. We deliver. You can come dine in. whatever you want to do.
All right. So I see you got your socials down there. And for anybody that's and also I see on the flyer there's a Queens Village. If someone's not familiar with Queens Village and Savanna's Soul Kitchen Feast for All, what's Queens Village?
So Queens Village is for Black women. They basically uplift Black women. They have different events, and also they work with infant mortality as well. They sponsored us one year, and so that's why I continue to put them on the flyer because I appreciate them.
Okay, I'm trying to put this number here because you've got a way that people can support.
Yes.
And let me put this. I'm trying to do two things. I'm trying to do like Jody does. I've seen him multitask.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not at his level yet.
Also, I have another event coming up too. I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, let me take this off the screen, and then you can
keep that up.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's what's up. All right.
Yes. So, I am currently in my second year of culinary art school.
All right.
And it's hard. So, I'm doing some different things this semester because I'm doing online and hybrid. So I'm going to participate in some pop-up shops. So you guys get more opportunities to feast for all with us. So not only do you get the 6 holidays a year, we also added 4 brunches, a brunch every quarter. So we'll also have a brunch in January called Vision. And also I'm going to be doing a holiday vending extravaganza at Area Banquet Hall on November 16th. They're providing lunch for all of their vendors. So I am catering that event. And then also I will have a booth and I'll be giving out dinner at no cost that day.
All right. So there's a lot of us that say that we want to help. But most of us that say that we want to help, we want to do a feast for all, but then we can't organize it. So family, I know you want to help like I do, especially during Thanksgiving. And one of my things, CC, was I always wanted to volunteer somewhere. But you know what happens Thanksgiving?
Right.
It never happens. So instead of me, and I'm looking in the mirror in the camera when I'm saying this, instead of myself coming up with another excuse why I couldn't volunteer at Kitchen for the Poor or Family House or anywhere else, this year I want to support Savanna Soul Kitchen Feast for All. And scrolling on the bottom of the screen, there's a Zelle number. All you got to do is hit the Zelle. All right. And donate. And for those that like CSRN, if you like the revolutionary things that we do in the community, feeding our people at no cost is revolutionary too. Matter of fact, I don't think that it gets more revolutionary than that. So we want you to engage and help. If you think that all Black lives matter, if you think that social justice is a thing that we need to look at, well, let's put it to a more practical approach by donating to Savanna Soul Kitchen Feast for All. There's the number scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to hit Jody up because that's our treasurer to see what we're going to do. All right, but we're gonna help this year, and I'm saying it on camera. So word is bond, and bond is life. I'd rather lose my life before my word to fail. So I'm going to have Jody keeping me on my word, and I'm going to do it too, because I think this is something that we should be aware of. And as you said before, during this time, people will be more worried about buying a gift or doing this or doing that than food. So why can't we have both? All right. Why can't you have family and have a meal? Why can't you be thankful and have a meal. And you've been able to, and how many years have you been doing this?
It'll be 5 years.
Wow. And most times I know that whenever we want to do something like this, usually it's 1 year and we out, so that's beautiful. I got a couple other questions that I wanted to ask you this is beautiful, CC.
Thank you.
It is. And also we need to put that up, Jody, on our Facebook page and share that to all the groups that say Black Power or stick it to the man. Well, we want you to we want you to support Savanna Soul Kitchen too while we're sticking it to the man. All right. We want you to support Savanna Soul Kitchen while we're saying Black Power. All right. It's easy for us to say these things, CC. It's easy for us to show up with some signs, and we'll do that. All right. We'll do the street heat. However, there's also some other things that we could do too. And this is a worthy cause. One of the things that we always ask of our participants or our guests is self-care. That's an intentional and essential part of what we do. What is it that you do regarding self-care? How do you bring it all in?
Well, one thing I do is I get a pedicure every month. I go to my cousin Paris Brown. She used to be my nail tech when I had a salon. So I give me a pedicure every month. It don't matter if it's winter or not. And also,
does she have a booth somewhere?
She's at home right now.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, you heard her.
Yes,
She's probably on Facebook. Too. All right.
Yes.
We can hit her up.
Yes, and then also, I go to Queens Village once a month. They have a sister circles.
Oh man, that sounds good.
So I do that as well. I'm always, listening to something positive like Pastor Mike Jr. Or something like that. So always, staying in the word, always looking for some type of entertainment or networking event or something like that as well. And then just serving that's
beautiful.
Yeah, that helps me a lot too.
All right, last question before we go. Our sister Anika Fields, she comes on and she talks about the empowerment toolbox, and she's kind of pushed both myself and Jody to start journaling and write some things down, how we feel and what do we want to accomplish today. And she always asks us about what we're grateful for. So can you give us 3 things that you're grateful for?
Well, one thing is a new set of 24. New set of 24 hours.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because you gotta you can make other decisions.
Yeah.
So
true.
Definitely that. I'm thankful for family, my immediate family, and just like the family that I've grown over the years. And I am thankful for what's next.
That's what's up.
Yes.
All right. This is Savannah's Soul Kitchen. And we didn't even, which we'll just leave that on the screen right now. How did you come up with the name Savannah's Soul Kitchen? How did that come up?
So Savanna is my 13-year-old daughter. And so when I decided that I wanted to do a restaurant, my ex suggested at the time, you should name it Savanna Soul Kitchen. I said, oh yeah, I like that. And so I went with that name and I like it. But everybody thinks that I am Savanna.
That's what I thought. I'm like, see, the C was for Savannah. All right. See, Jody owes me $5 for that. Okay. All right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What does your daughter think about having her name on something like that?
She likes it. I tried to get her to come with me today, but she wasn't feeling that well. But she said, she's shy. Savannah's a little shy, so she's not into the public speaking as much and everything. But Savanna, she's in chorus, so she sings and stuff. So you'll see her. You'll see her here and there. She's performed at
to seeing you. There it is. All right. Oh man. We're looking forward to seeing you there. We're also looking forward to you to support. All right. Those are social handles, so you can glean this information on Facebook and Instagram. And also we'll be sharing it on CSRN's page too.
Thank you.
And asking all of our comrades, all of our supporters and sympathizers, this is what we're going to be doing for Thanksgiving. We're going to be supporting Savanna's Soul Kitchen. All right. So whatever you wanted to donate to CSRN, we're going to donate it to Savanna Soul Kitchen. You see his tail there, so don't send it to me saying, can you pass? No,
yeah, that's my real name.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, how do we pronounce that?
Shawan.
Shawan. I think this is my first time ever said Shawan.
Yes.
All right. She got the whole government on there.
Also, don't forget we give out canned and dry goods in between those meals. So even if somebody wanted to donate any of those or you need some, just give us a call.
Oh, that's what's up. All right. And also, can we look forward to you coming back and talking about some of the other things that you've got going on too?
Yes. I can talk about one of the brunches and different things. I have different themes coming up. We got Vision, New, All In, and Completion. Those will be the ones for 2025.
All right.
Look forward to those.
That's what's up. Family, thank you, CC, for being here. And look, we're gonna keep that scroller going at the bottom if Jody will let me. But this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. The program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it, we have to breathe it, we have to do it, we have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers. which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
Shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
All right. Okay, well, we're back on. Oh, where's my hat? Every time we take a break, I come back. But that's all
behind
good.
the scenes talking.
I had we're gonna leave CC's Zelle at the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
We want you to check out the Savanna Soul Kitchen Feast for All, the 28th of November. I want to put this up. I want to put this up again. And then we're going to do some tie up some loose ends with Jody. This is Queens Village and Savanna Soul Kitchen Feast for All. Thanksgiving dinner at no cost. Anybody could pull up. That's what Cece said. It's going to be at 12 to 2 p.m. Harmony House, 4227 Monroe Street. You got her number right there, but call her on some business stuff, all right? Don't let me catch you calling her. Let's talk about what you're doing. All right.
Yeah, I know she glazed over it a little bit, but I'm also one of the features in that Hollow Poems movie that we shot and premiered and everything like that.
And apparently we just make it about you. All right, yeah.
Oh, no, it's about her.
Okay, no, that's true. I'm just a hater by nature.
We'll get you in the next one.
All right.
Brother Washington on the drums.
All right. Jody, we're coming up on 7:00. I think I got maybe one thing that I wanted to go over, but we really need to catch up on some of the things that you believe that we need to know.
Our community.
Yeah.
So first, before I do go into the community stuff, I want to shout out my Black Lives Matter moment, which was the first ever and still continuing to be the only raising of the Pan-African flag.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. You went there. Okay.
Yeah. We did it on the 100th year of the flag created by Marcus Garvey, and Toledo is the only place in the United States or the world that is continuing to do it. We've survived a whole leap year.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Next year, looking forward to going back again and speaking and giving people their representation. But yeah, so that's my Black Lives Matter moment, because it took a lot to get there. We had thought about it a couple of years previously, got roadblocked, and then the NAACP, the Port Authority, City of Toledo came together to make it.
And the commissioners, all right, not the City of Toledo, all right. It ain't got nothing to do with the City of Toledo, all right. I ain't gonna give them no false. What did Jadakiss do? Man, they took his dap back.
Yeah. I mean, I had several people ask me about zombie crawling stuff this year, but I think as I spend more time in the realm of doing stuff, everybody has different ideas. Some may work for some may not. I'm not as upset or angry when I first got into this, because I've learned. I'm an elected official now. I've run several nonprofits. I do a whole bunch of stuff, so I get to be behind some of those closed doors. And no, everybody doesn't understand like how I opened up about being a commodity, but they got their own struggles, they got their own problems. They can all get on a spaceship somewhere. But yeah, that's the world we live in right now. So some of the things I do want to shout out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but the Black Gala happened, and That was good. I'm not a dresser person. I know people have asked me a lot over this year. Hey, you going to this event? You going to that event? I'm like, if I could wear this, and they're like, well, you can, and I'm like, I've done that for a few years, and I do understand decorum and stuff. And regardless of me being Jody, which is one of my new hashtags, thanks to Rochelle, because I'm Jody, but I don't have to. I've made my mark on the world, and I love all the photos I saw from the Black Gala. I believe that happened at the Metro Parks this year, or one of them. I'm still sifting through photos that I saw. There was a whole bunch of trunk or treats going on for all the kids. So congratulations to all those organizations that threw them. I know Mud Talk, another podcast here in the city, because we do support everybody, had something going on. Ty Cleveland, one of our former award winners for that. There was another award ceremony, which also caused us to create the Black Lives Matter Awards, was the 20 under 40.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Happened. I want to say that was all yesterday or the couple
I think
days.
it was yesterday.
Not done too much stuff. I've been, sitting at home, letting the year catch up to me. But yeah, seeing all the photos from that. Congratulations to Rob Pasker and Lance Self. Those are the only people I can kind of make out from the backsplash.
Hey, both of those are former Black Lives Matter award winners. All right,
making it all like nepotism and stuff. But
that's okay. It's all good.
I am proud of everybody that does stuff. Even as CC was sitting over here, one vulnerable part about entertainment and stuff like that is not always what it's like to be. We get notices. There are things we can't pay, things we can't be at, regardless of how many shows. Even, well, I can't speak for the high budget actors, but for most actors and stuff, it's a struggle from show to show. To doing stuff is not as easy or as glamorous as it looks. My page currently, with all my little networks and stuff, reaches about 200,000 people a month. And for those people that come to see this weird guy in a hat traveling through the city without a car and without a name brand tag on him except his own, I thank you for seeing me. I thank you for allowing me in your spaces and stuff. So if you have anything going on, the biggest announcement too, we won't be here next week.
Oh, that's right.
We won't be here, and I'm going to briefly glaze over this section somewhat, but go vote. I don't care if you are voting for red, for blue, for green, for purple. It doesn't matter. Just go vote. Just alone this week, I've seen several cases of them burning ballot boxes, which I never thought I would see in my lifetime. I heard about it when I was younger, but that is the point that the country has gotten to silence you. So do not be discouraged by people saying your vote doesn't count or anything like that, because it does, to the point where they'll burn it. So yeah.
And you got early, they got
early
the thing on the screen.
Oh, yep. See, I haven't been looking at the screen. I've been trying to focus on looking more at the camera.
It's all good.
Too much, but yeah, early voting is still open. The lines have been long. I went there last week because, again, me and my co-host, or however you put that, Brother Washington, are, some of those people you'll see when you go to vote that you're going to be like, I ain't got to give you my ID. Well, yes, you do, sir, or ma'am, and stuff like that. So
you better get that right. All right.
Make sure you tell your name, you have your ID out. It actually, from when I started as an election official, is expanded. You can now use your passport. So make sure you use your voice. It is so very important. Everything is changing. And even if you don't want to vote for the top two or the presidential, make sure, if you don't like the way your county is run, your city is run, officials are up. Kick them out. Literally kick them out. If you're not in civil service to help the community, you should not be there. And that is my opinion on that.
That's right. And I back that one up. All right. I back that one up. Hey, I wanted to go over next week, CSRN and the ACLU of Ohio. We are sponsoring the Lucas County Action Team, the Power of the Ohio Supreme Court. On our page, go to the link and register to be a part of it. If you don't register and just show up, you're still gonna,
right. You know, you may not get some of the snacks and stuff, but
yeah,
you know,
well,
we'll see.
Yeah, show up on time. You're gonna get some. Look, yeah, we're gonna.
Don't come with Tupperware now.
All right, or do, but yeah, this is gonna be important to know why it's important to know who's running for the Supreme Court. This is a nonpartisan effort, so we're not holding the water or carrying water for anybody. This is just to inform you, and shout out to the ACLU of Ohio for partnering with us. Right now I've got over 50, I think maybe 50 people that have registered to be there.
Beautiful.
We're cooking for 30, so so get there. But we've got a dynamite caterer. What you're gonna have on that day, I have no idea what you're gonna have, but it's gonna be dynamite. And also the conversation regarding what can happen if things go either way for the Ohio Supreme Court.
Yep.
So that's going to be important for you to be there. Once again, Saturday, November 2nd, Kent Branch Library. That's at the corner of Central and Collingwood. Last thing that I wanted to share to you is this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper, and we're honoring the legacy of Chief Ernie Lone Walker. If you don't know who Chief Ernie Lone Walker is, he is a friend of the Nation of Islam. Our native people and Black people here in America are one and the same. So it's not like the red men. And no, they are original people. All right.
My grandmother was Blackfoot.
They were, those of us that were brought here in the hulls of slave ships, there were people here before. We were here before. So get this issue of the Final Call newspaper remembering Chief Ernie Lone Walker. And also we have some more footage on the Holy Day of Atonement, the 29th anniversary of the Million Man March. Get it in this issue of the Final Call. Most of us will be on the corner of Bancroft and Detroit. I think hopefully if the weather cooperates this Saturday.
It's the warmest October I have seen.
Right. So get the Final Call newspaper. It's a dynamite newspaper, not just because I distribute, sell, and make it happen, but it is what it is. So pick that this issue of the Final Call newspaper. And if you like what we do and want to support our effort, we would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube, like, share, comment. Our YouTube page, we're trying to get up to 100,000 subscribers so that they'll send us that thing in the mail, Jody.
Yeah, get our first little plaque.
Right. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm going to be putting some of our reels out. All right, too. Just learned how to do that.
Go on our page right now. We got awesome reel right
all
there.
Right. And if you want to support what we do, that's the cash tag CSRN 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. Get your Black Lives Matter signs. We're going to put a couple out. I think I'm going to spread a couple out because I see some of the political signs out. And now if I put our Black Lives Matter signs out, they probably leave them there because you got the other stuff. All right. True. And I sprinkle some defund the police signs in there too. We do have those. Also be aware that the Community Solidarity Police Accountability Review Council is a reality, and we're going to be sharing more and more information on that, when we're going to meet, what we're about. So that's going to be a big thing for Toledo. That's never been done. It's always been those cherry picked from the city of Toledo to police.
Yep, or not at all, because there was a program that was supposed to be started like 2020. It still hasn't gotten off its feet.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, we got you. We got you. All right, you don't have to worry about doing that. We got you. Hey, look, it's 7:07. Jody, I know, did we miss some other things?
We did miss a couple things because, again, unfortunately, we will not be here next week. So you're going to miss our lovely faces. We might do like share an old program. I don't know. We'll see logistics and stuff like that.
Hey, we got enough of them. All right.
True.
All right.
4 years is a very long time. I don't even know when our 100th show was, you know, how they do all those stuff. But so here are some upcoming things for the next week or two that you may want to go to. There is in the Lucas County area and stuff like that. I try and keep it close to home as possible because, again, transportation, getting places, time, and all that stuff. So Saturday, November 9th. Oh, nope. That's too far ahead. We're just going to go to just to the next couple of weeks. So right now, if you were able to make it, there was a writer workshop at the West Branch Library with a friend of mine, Lakeda AK. She's an author, poet, whole bunch of other stuff. So those of you over there, hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Toll House has their Tech Tuesday going on. I get asked a lot about Tuesdays, but this is where I've been for 10 years. So when you say, hey, you got something to do Tuesday, yes, I do. But so that's going on over at Toll House. Of course, this Saturday is the Lucas County Action Team, Power of Ohio Supreme Court. Also this Saturday is the Glass City Expo 2024, 3560 Dorr Street. Also this Saturday is November's Lifeline Community Dinner. You may or may not see me there, 438 Floyd Street, Toledo, Ohio. It starts at 5:30, open mic probably around later, depending on weather and stuff like that. Thursday, November 7th is the Brick by Brick Gala at the Premiere. One of our friends, Tatiana Cash, I believe, is hosting that. So if you can make it out to that, November 7th, Toledo Street Scene at the Portal and Toledo School for the Arts. Thursday, November 7th, Comedy Night at Toll House with Cool Keith. I was there last month. It's a great show, great place to be.
Okay.
Friday, November 8th. If you have never seen me slam, and most people have not since I retired in 2020, is the first ever Art Loop Poetry Slam at the Collingwood Arts Center, hosted by the Arts Commission, where there is a top prize of $500. So it's half a stack slam. Shout out to Joel over in Detroit. I remember I did one of his and lost in the first round at the Aretha Franklin, but at least I could say I performed there.
Okay, true.
So me and 13 other contestants will be performing live for the cash prize, and it will also be the first time I've had my poetry sign languaged. So that is going to be an awesome thing to see what the hands are going to do. Anyway, but yes, it is a clean poetry show. So if you're expecting Detroit, Chicago, New York, Texas Slam is not one of those, but it is going to be concise. The first round you can choose to read on paper, but the last two rounds are memorized. So I hope to see a lot of good contestants there as I re-break my voice. Saturday, November 9th is the local authors workshop, Writing to Heal by the 555-577 Foundation. Got to slow down with some of this stuff. Last couple of things here on the list. Tuesday, November 12th is a zoning and planning committee meeting. So if you want to know what's really going on in the city, One Government Center, 4 p.m., show up. Thursday, November 14th. If you don't like our only bus system in the city of Toledo, you can go voice your opinion at the TARTA Community Update. That's going to be at the Glass City Center on the east side, right over the bridge. So if you got a problem or you want to bring up some concerns, complaints, come there, talk to us. I could say us because I'm on the advisory board because I do all of this stuff. But yeah, and I think that brings us back until we come back because that's November 14th. So I believe that's, if there's anything else too, you're welcome to contact me, Brother Washington, or the page, as long as it's community based, as long as it's something positive, and, you know, keep yourself informed.
All right. So one of the things that we do before we wrap up, I just wanted to send a shout out to Rhonda Sewell.
Yes.
All right, I go through my phone, and every once in a while, you may have gotten a phone call from me. I'll do what I call a comrade check-in of all the people that have helped us get to where we are. Either you've helped us with fundraising, or you graced us with your person to help level up what we do in the community. And I said, hey, I'm going to give her a call. I gave her a call. She's on her way to Nigeria. And I called her because, and I need to wrap this up. I called her because I follow her on Facebook, and she's doing some awesome things, some amazing things, and she does it in an amazing way. And I wanted to call and say, hey, look, I'm a fan. Love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And she just happened to be on her way to the airport. So when she comes back, she said that she'd stop through, share her experience, and that's a beautiful experience. And that's what I wanted to do. Moving on, I see that they're scrolling 5 minutes of heat, and that's how we close out our podcast. That's how we're going to be closing out our in-person meetings, and that's when we use creative expression instead of just meetings adjourned. All right. And Jody, what do you have for us today?
So today, as you guys have seen, the last 3 weeks have been about voting. I think we've done enough of that. If you were going to go vote, next Tuesday is the chance. If you early voted, thank you. Your country, your future thanks you. But today, again, a lot goes on behind the scenes that you may never know. Even if you see somebody buying stuff or doing all types of shows, there's a family behind that. There's a place behind that. There's bills behind that. And, it gets difficult. We juggle many balls and many hats. No Diddy on that. I was going to talk to you after the podcast.
But anyway, it's all good.
And I write a lot of pieces that help people, that help me. So today's piece is an homage to, if you just need a moment or something to think about, I do have a piece on my page right now, 2 minutes of your time that could help. It's going to be okay. But this one is Tears of Stone that I wrote, and it's part of the Black Men Unfiltered movie by our wonderful I was going to see if he was going to check in, but Ruth, I lent that piece to that movie and everything. So, yeah, and he reminded me, I haven't said my intro on a few shows. So this is my intro. If you ever see me on stage live for a paid show or, a slam or something like that, because open mics is where I use my little black book to see how well an audience is receptions to, anyway. But yeah, so I'm an open book, yes, an open book to those that decide to read. 1,000 words, yes, 1,000 words to those who've only caught a glimpse of me. And a lifetime, it's a lifetime to those that can say they were part of my story. If you are anywhere under the sound of my voice, you are now family. Because on this stage, yes, on this stage is where I share the most vulnerable parts of myself. And I hope, yes, I hope that you hear me. So let's begin. Peace. Tears of Stone. I can't cry. Yes, I can't cry. I don't have time to linger in one emotion for too long. Happy, sad, upset, reminiscent, or just pure tears of joy. There are so many moving parts, and I fear if I sink too much emotion, yes, too much emotion into one thing, I'll become lost. So many things depend on me to be this statuesque figure, burned into the minds of everyone I meet. To be that thing, that substance, that inspiration that might peak growth inside of them. So I cry inside. Yes, I cry inside, filling up wells, yes, wells of bottomless remorse for people who just tried to hold on too long. It's not you. No, it's not you. It's definitely me. See, I never learned how to attach. I've always been bounced from one situation to another before my synapses could fully react and understand, yes, understand that they were real. So I smile. Yes, I smile. Because in that crooked grin, I give you emotion I wish I could say out loud. My fear, my pain, my love, my loss, my joy, and every emotion that's encapsulated the growth of me in those few pearly whites. So I don't cry in front of people. No, I don't cry in front of people. But if you saw my tears, yes, if you saw my tears, you are blessed and cursed. Because those few precious moments of vulnerable insecurity are something, yes, something I don't show the world. That, yes, that is the ultimate form of trust I can give. Not laughs, jokes, stoic nature, or the ability, yes, the ability to connect with all of you in just a few moments. But the liquid, yes, the liquid that drips from my face when the wells overflow and I just need a moment. Thank you for this moment in peace. You're anywhere out there and you need help, there's always help. Even if it's not immediate family, blood, friends, stuff like that, seek it. It's never too late.
And as always, we snap. And as always, we snap our fingers. Man, Jody, I look forward to seeing you not next week, but the week after. What we didn't say today is also to make sure we've got our sign in the back that says vote for issue 24. Those are our libraries.
Yes.
I think they got the little live with CSRN thing over the sign, but you know what it is. Vote for the library. And as always, all lives can't matter until
Black lives matter.
And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.